It was pretty much exactly the same thing.
I wasn't there last week.
I bought Beats by Dre in Cambodia for like $5 and they were gold. And I was not as smart as Eric because I was 20 at the time and I thought they were legit. I thought Cambodia is the best. I can get $5 Beats by Dre. I've never tried them on before. I've never seen them, actually. And then I got to Hawaii after Cambodia and I showed my friend, I'm like, dude, look at these cool Beats by Dre. They're like gold, like C3PO. And he's like, those aren't that. I'm like, they sure are. They got the logo on. He's like, look, feel mine. And so he handed them to me and like right off the difference, dude, the weight, just the weight alone is like, okay, these are, and then like I would move his and they'd be quiet and you just like move mine. It's just like plastic rubbing against plastic, you know? And then I listened to the music and I was like, mine sounds like it's coming from like the neighbor's house, you know?
Yeah.
And his is just like busting my eardrums. One of the things I was talking about is it doesn't matter what logo is on anything. A logo is not what makes something, it's the quality of the thing. And I like that how John is talking about there's the defining qualities of a believer is this truth and love. And there's many more than that, but he's talking about truth and love. And then he goes over here to the deceivers, and he does not define deceivers by living in truth and love at all. But I think this is one of the plights of American Christianity, is slapping the Christian label on ourselves, but not having any of the fruit of Christianity. So I feel like that is as good as the knockoff Beats by Dre that I got in Cambodia. But when we are saved and when we live in Christ, there is fruit and evidence of that. And I think this is part of why John was so stoked when he's like, dude, I'm so glad that some of your children are walking in truth. Like these are believers. They are in Christ. Anyway, what are your thoughts on slapping the Christian label on ourselves but not showing any signs or evidence of salvation in our life?
I think it's bad.
Oh my gosh, guys, you heard it here first.
You can pay me later. I come from biblical counseling background, and doing like kind of sort of, I'm not a pastor, but like pastoral care, like helping people. Like I think the better phrase is like crisis discipleship. Like when people are having like a really rough time of it, dealing with sin, things like that. Like what does the Bible have to say in those moments? And one of the things that we talk about is fruit stapling, right? Like behavior modification. If your heart is not desiring the right thing, it's like taking apples and like stapling them to a tree that doesn't bear fruit, right? And we're familiar in the church with like bearing fruit and like, you know, oh, well, Galatians, the fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, peace. And then, you know, section right before that was like, well, here's all the other stuff your heart will bring out if you're desiring the wrong things. And for slapping the Christian label on stuff, I think there's a very real risk. I would not be surprised if there's people, I mean, I know there's people that I know who are in this boat where their youth pastors, their leaders, their parents, their friends did that thing. And they weren't treasuring Christ. And I'm not saying that we're called to be perfect, because that's clearly not the case either. But, you know, if you're just slapping Jesus like a Supreme sticker on your on your skateboard or whatever, right? Like Jesus isn't a brand. I have no problem obviously with like, you know, publicly declaring or repping, but like if the style and the cool kids club, the whatever, you know, like, and I think the Bible's also very clear about like using God in that way, you know, using it for your own social clout or benefit or gain, like. That obviously is a huge problem. I mean,
there's a little bit of that is coming up in 3 John too.
Yeah. Well, don't spoil the ending.
I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, I think God has made it very clear that I think that is basically what using his name in vain is.
I would agree. Yeah.
Like I'm going to use God's name, likeness, image,
for my own.
Like keep in mind, like God actually died. Right? People are like, oh, you know, like God knows so mean that he did that to his son. But it's the same person. Well, not the exact same person, but the same being. Most powerful thing imaginable. Bow tie of history. You know, and you're like, oh, I'm going to use it for my own cool points. Think for a second where that's going to get you long term.
Well, it also brings me back to like people who, you know, they slap the Christian logo on their life and think that they're good because they claim to be a Christian. But in Matthew 5, 6, or 7, one of those 7, I think. You know, you get the whole
scary text.
I never knew you. Yeah. So there is that thing of like, don't be a knockoff believer. But